What's up, music fans of the internet? I'm Derek.
And I am Kevin.
And together we're last week's album. We're bringing you two opinions on the best new music. And this week we're talking about Dry Food by Palehound. And we're asking the big question, does this low-key indie rock give you something to chew on? But before we go any further, we're going to start things off like we always do, drinking a beer. Cheers.
Cheers, Derek, and everyone at home.
All right, so Palehound is the brainchild of 21-year-old Ellen Kempner, who is Boston-based, and she's been working with a quartet. However, on this album, Dry Food, she played everything but the drums, and this is her full-length debut, and it follows the EP in 2014, Bent Nail. So not a lot of background on this new artist, so we're just going to jump to sounds like. Kevin, what do you think?
Derek, I think this sounds like a hungover emotional mix of St. Vincent and Pavement. What do you think?
I like that, and this is that awkward moment when our sounds like slightly overlap. I think Dry Food sounds like St. Vincent and Courtney Barnett go on a picnic and make a day trip of it. All right, so key tracks, what do you have?
I've got Healthier Folk and Cinnamon. What about you?
Those are good. I actually have Easy and the title track, Dry Food. Why don't you start us off with Healthier Folk?
Sure. This track starts off sort of melancholic falsetto, jangly acoustic strumming, dreamy, sort of watery guitar sounds, almost like a pedal steel, it sounds like. And toward the end, the track really picks up steam with this surf metal guitar, I'm calling it, and really pounding drums. And the song has this really great internal rhyme scheme. I'll give you one example. She says, "Drizzle honey on my open salt wound. Mom said use a harpoon if I ever need a meal." And yeah, this is just the first track that really jumped out at me. What do you think of Easy, Derek?
Easy is not so easy to explain. Just kidding. The verses feature this even hypnosis-inducing rising, falling guitar and bass riff, and it really picks up steam going into and during the chorus, which features cymbal-heavy drum beat, fuzzy angular electric guitar riffs, and really create what I thought was kind of this nostalgic grunge vibe, which I don't know, your surf rock guitar I think also could be applied in describing that. The lyrics kind of feature this slightly stream of consciousness, ranging in subjects that go from turning down over-eager would-be suitors, I'm pushing back your tongue with my clenched teeth home security system, to shoe problems. I'm trying on new shoes, they hurt my feet. Overall, I just really kind of like this. Kind of very relatable, describing things in very unique terms, and just kind of this back and forth between just kind of this humdrum kind of verse that lulls you into this false insecurity only to knock you down in the chorus. All right, so that's enough about Easy. Kevin, why don't you tell us about your next key track?
Sure. Cinnamon has this really deft guitar noodling hook, which a lot of songs have these really nice guitar hooks. Really effective vocals, snappy drums, drippy bass. The second half shifts into a hazy, out-of-tune, really slow saunter, and then slows down even more into this trippy, echoey dream state. And my favorite part about this track is the way the mellow verses give way to this upbeat pre-chorus fake-out thing. It's just this really nice mix of slow and then more upbeat. And what about Dry Food, the title track, Derek?
Yeah, this one kind of starts off with this cold, trudging bass snare drum beat, downcast keys, plodding bass guitar, haunting synth flutters in the background, and really all kind of supporting this emotive lead electric guitar riff. And overall, it had a kind of Elliott Smith-ish vibe to it. The lyrics describe a relationship gone or going bad, and as the song progresses, there are hints of electric guitar feedback that really kind of grow in ferocity towards the end, but never really enter the fray. And I thought this was kind of a cool metaphor for maybe some of the angst belying the seemingly cool front that the main character describes here. And really just a lot of cool lyrics. that I'm going to save for best lyric. Kevin, why don't you start us off?
Sure. I will start us off with a line from that track, Derek, Dry Food. Overall on the album, she gives us these really sort of melancholic, open-hearted lyrics, and I thought this was a really good example of it. She says, "You made beauty a monster to me, so I'm kissing all the ugly things I see." Just a really smart, idiosyncratic line that I really dug. What about you, Derek?
Nice. Yeah, I'm going with one from this track, Dixie. I liked it for a lot of the same reasons. She says, "People that I'll never meet have been showing up naked in my dreams, and I try to close my eyes, but I really want to see their breasts like eyes are staring back at me." Very pointed, yet relatable, and kind of makes me laugh at the same time. So that brings us to overall rating and asking the big question: does this low-key indie rock give you something to chew on? Kevin, why don't you start us off?
I will start us off answering the question, does it give us something to chew on? I think yes, it's really interesting and meaty, both sonically and lyrically. I equate this to like really good appetizer and main course. I'm not sure the dessert is there yet, but it still feels pretty satisfying. As far as rating goes, on the pro side, I think it's very fluid and liquid. There's some fun, unexpected twists and turns. She uses guitar to great effect, not to show off, but to really serve each song. And she gives us some winking nudges of humor here and there to sort of break up the emotionality of the album. On the con side, it's a little short, both overall and some songs in particular. And I think she's really still figuring out her sound, which is fun to hear for music nerds like us, but for the average person might be a little bit frustrating. So overall, I'm giving this a really strong 3 out of 5. What do you think, Derek?
We're going to agree on a lot of points and slightly disagree on the last point, I guess. To answer the big question, is this something to chew on? I think, yeah, definitely something to chew on. And dare I say, left me with a hunger for some more, which I think directly goes back to what you're saying. On the pro side, I really like the lyrics, personal yet relatable. Some tongue-in-cheek humor there. Strong guitar work. Yeah, I totally agree with you there. The only con I could come up with was, as I kind of alluded to earlier, 8 songs kind of left me looking for more. So again, what you said. But all that being said, I'm chalking that up to, her, newness here. So overall, I'm giving this a 4 out of 5. So I guess that's the only area where we disagree. So that brings us to a total of 7 out of 10 for Palehound's Dry Food. So don't add water, just go check it out. And thanks again for joining us here at last week's album, where we bring you 2 opinions on the best new music. Don't forget to subscribe. Shout out to the podcast. And until next time, thanks for joining us. I'm Derek.
I'm Kevin. Cheers, guys.